Good morning. This is the time and place for the zoning hearing officer hearing for February 9th, 2011. My name is Roger Kiesel, and I will be conducting the hearings as hearing officer. We have one case today, and relevant exhibits are posted on the panel located directly behind me. Under the provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30.42 of the Glendale Municipal Code, a conditional use permit shall be granted if four required findings are present. They are that the proposed use will be consistent with the elements and objectives of the general plan, that the use and its associated structures and facilities will not be detrimental to the public health or safety, the general welfare, or the environment, that the use and facilities will not adversely affect or conflict with adjacent uses or impede the normal development of surrounding property, and finally that that adequate public and private facilities are or will be provided for the use. Additionally, since the conditional use permit before us this morning relates to the sales of alcoholic beverages, there are 5 additional criteria that need to be considered in making the findings, and those five criteria include that the census tract with more than the recommended maximum concentration of on-sale or off-sale uses. The second is crime reporting district location of the existing or proposed use with a crime rate which exceeds 20% of the city average for Part 1 crimes, as reported by the Glendale Police Department. The third, that the existing or proposed use does not or will not adversely impact any church, public or private school or college, daycare facility, public park, library, hospital, or residential use within the surrounding area. The fourth one, that adequate parking and loading facilities are or will be provided for the existing or proposed use, or other reasonable alternatives satisfy the transportation and parking needs of the existing or proposed use. And then finally, that notwithstanding consideration of the criteria I just read, the existing or proposed use will not, or does or will serve a public necessity and public convenience purpose for the area. Findings. If the findings presented in the application at the hearing meet the criteria just described, then the planning hearing officer can either approve or impose conditions for approval on the case in question. If the findings of fact are not evident, then the request will be denied. Public notice. Notification of this hearing was accomplished by the use of public notices, which were mailed to property owners within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question, and placed in the local newspaper. The hearing will proceed as follows. First, I'll read a description of the application, the request. Second, I'll read the reports received by other departments, other city departments, and other letters or communications from interested parties. Then the case planner will make a brief overview of the case, give analysis, and make a recommendation. The applicant will be asked to come forward stating both name and address, and will be asked to present the case within a 15-minute time period. Others in support or in opposition to the application and interested parties will be asked to come forward to speak, again clearly stating both name and address within a 3-minute time period. Finally, the applicant will be given the opportunity to make closing comments if desired in response to the testimonies given by the previous speakers within a 5-minute time period, and then the hearing will be closed and taken under submission. And while I'm thinking about it, I don't have speaker cards. Do we have those? Okay. Thanks. Decisions. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing and will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all persons who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at the hearing, or by submitting written responses and have provided their name and mailing address. The date of the decision will be the date appearing on the letter. Appeals. Under the provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30.62 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the date of the decision. Anyone who wishes to appeal may obtain forms and brochures On the procedure from Building and Safety section, Permit Services Center located on the same, or actually located at the Municipal Services Building at 633 East Broadway. Speaker cards. If you wish to speak, please write your name and address on one of the speaker forms, which have been provided by the front door, and submit it to our assistant. The official proceedings of the planning hearing officer hearings are recorded on tape and as part of the public record. Now we'll just go through we have one case today. It's case number, it's a conditional use permit, case number PCUP 2010-028. The applicant is Vladimir Vardanian. The owner is Vladimir Vardanian, as well as Armene Gorowin. The property is located at 901 North Glendale Avenue. The case planner is Dennis Joe, and the project is an application for a conditional use permit to sell packaged alcoholic beverages, beer and wine, for the off-site consumption at an existing service station located at 901 North Glendale Avenue in the C2-1 commercial or community commercial zone, Hype District 1, described as Lot 6 and a portion of Lot 7, track number 11365. If Dennis could do a quick presentation, that'd be great. Thanks.
Thank you, hearing officer. I'm going to go quickly into the description of the existing property. The site is located on the northwest corner of Glen Oaks Boulevard and Glendale Avenue, and is developed with a service station. The structure is a single-story, 1,163 square foot building, which was originally built in 1962. To go into background on the entitlements on this subject property, in 2009, a standards variance allowed a conversion of 2 service bays to be converted into a food market, and also to allow the service station to sell non-automotive related goods. A memo is on file with this application, which the zoning administrator, which previously approved this variance, with concurrence of the planning director, community development director, which states that this conditional use permit does not need another variance to sell the alcoholic beverages or the packaged alcoholic beverages. Staff analysis, the site has maintained its use as a gas station for an extended period of time and recently obtained approval to be improved with the food market. The subject business complements the immediate area as it offers a full range of goods and services to the community as intended by the general plan and zoning designation. Neighborhood services and police department have indicated there are no recent reported issues with the gas station. Staff believes the operation will continue without detriment to the immediate area. Police department comments returned stating the census tract for the subject address has 2 alcoholic beverage sales license, where 5 would be permitted. In 2009, the property or the census tract had a 71% above average citywide. However, comments from PD also indicate that subject business has not created any major concerns for law enforcement and has not indicated any concerns regarding the nature of this request. The applicant indicates that packaged alcoholic beverages will be for off-site consumption and will not be served or consumed on-site. Since this request does not include any added floor area or modifications to the existing building, adequate utilities, landscaping, parking, and traffic circulations are provided. Various city departments have been notified of this application, and no concerns have been raised regarding the nature of this request. Given that the site has been used as a gas station for approximately 50 years and was improved with a food market recently, staff does not believe the request will impact the neighboring properties. Staff believes the sales of packaged alcoholic beverages at this location will enhance the subject operations ability to serve the public convenience for the area. Overall, staff's recommendation is staff believes that all the findings for the conditional use permit can be made in a positive manner and recommends approval. This concludes staff's presentation. myself and the applicant are available for questions.
All right, thanks. Before I have the applicant come up and speak, I want to go through briefly the comments that we got from other departments. And actually, in looking at them before the hearing, I don't think we had any. The applicant did actually submit a petition with, it looks like, 126 names on it in support of the conditional use permit to allow them to sell beer and wine at the service station. So we have that information. If the applicant wants to come up and speak, that would be great.
I'm the representative for the applicant. I apologize because this was my first time with Glendale, and some cities the applicant would be, then they have a selection for the representative. I realized that I had to be it, being his consultant. It was just an application, but I did give a letter to them stating that I am the notarized consultant for the applicant, which I gave them a copy of.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
Yes, I'd like to thank the City of Glendale and the staff here for this time. My name is Ken Kang, the consultant for Mr. Vlad Vadomir, and I'd like to take this opportunity to say that we do agree with everybody else also that this will be beneficial for the community because it's in a low, medium density with residential, so we believe that we can serve the community also, but yet we're not detrimental to the environment because there is commercial buildings along the strip of Glendale Boulevard right there. So, and we can serve the community in the residentials by adjacent to the Glendale Boulevard. And we believe that the local residences there does not impact the area there because of the support we had. Actually, I like the way my client handled it because he said, we'll let the community decide. That's why he put the petition letter. If they don't want it, then he said he won't go for it. I thought that was fair enough. But since they gave the petition and signed it, the local people that live there that wanted it, because they do like him. They said he's very respectful. They like what he did with the station, improved it, and all of that. So they like that for the community. And they believe that he's a very responsible owner, as the police reports will show that he had no incidences there also. So that the community did support him there locally, that they do want it, and they think they could benefit from it. Second, and in return, my client also said that he will give the lowest gas prices in town because of this venture, he's able to give it back to the community that way. You guys will see in the future, watch, if you guys go down, you guys might start getting gas here too because of that reason. And the reason that I like it is because most people do not know that when gas prices go about $4, and we know it's all coming, the community, the owners themselves, the BP, the partner owners, they do not make any money. This is from my experience because I do specialize with gas stations. I'm a consultant for a lot of stations. And they're actually minus 5 cents per gallon when it gets to $4. It's ConocoPhillips who makes money, not them. Because of the credit card issue, you have a certain amount of payments that they have with. That's why you start seeing credit cards and cash. And there's like a 10, 15 cent difference. And that's it. But he's willing to do that if he's granted this, that the community wants, and he's providing it. But yet, because of that return, he's going to lower his gas prices. Because he doesn't really make any profit off the gas. The money that he makes to sustain there is from the convenience store. So it's also, we thought it's a convenience for the community, but it's also a necessity for him financially. So, and this way we ensure that a responsible owner like this can provide the community and sustain there by having this granted license so he can make enough profit to, even in a hard economic time, to survive, to serve the community during those times. And just to let this board know too, because I know a lot of facts on this issue, that most convenience stores, 7-Eleven being the best, and A&PM at gas stations being the best, their maximum profit is only like 15%, the good stores. For the whole, for beer and wine. Whereas in liquor stores are 60%, so their incentive is to sell alcohol. And just to let the community here know, 80% of the alcohol that's consumed by most communities come from Stater Brothers, Vons, Albertsons, Costco's, Sam's Club. And a lot of the community don't know that because every time those come up, nobody's protesting. But if the supplier is the problem, then I would say we should look into that because that's where 80% comes from. But so I'm also letting you guys know how much of the alcohol will be going to community, so it's not that detrimental. And like I said, 7-Elevens, which I represent, in AMPM, my consultants represent, we know these numbers to be true and factual, which is only 15%. And he might just be at 10, 7. That's what I mean, because that's the best average. So in those concerns for the community, I like to address that so you guys will know the numbers also. And we believe that since it is an existing station, we did meet all the demands for circulations, the concerns for the environment, all of that, which the planning approved and said that we did meet those standards. And when I spoke with, and we like to get involved with the community, so before I even started this project, I talked with the vice department of the Glendale Police Department, and he did tell me that since we had a prior license there, they don't have no problem granting us another one there too also. And by our crime records that we had, they say that they feel confident to support us on that issue. So I like to let them know that. And so we did take that approach also. Let me see. I think I did address a lot of the issues that concern. And we did not find really any sensitive areas, or we would have contacted them too around in our 500 feet, which was churches, schools, or private entities. We would have done that also if they were, but they're not there. So, and pretty much, I know this client over here, Mr. Vladimir. Even for me, I became a professional designer into architecture and urbanism because I wanted to serve the community. And I'm very selective of what my clients also. If the project's not good for community, I will even tell them I don't want the project, or I would tell them it's not wise to do that. But I looked at this project. I also got to know the client very well. I'm working on other projects with him, so I got to know him very intimately. And he's a very responsible person, and he wants to give. Even his claim, I was so happy, because I suggest to my clients, if you give some, you have to give back to community. But it was not even my suggestion. It was his. He said, I'm going to give the lowest gas prices, because if they're going to give me this, I'm also going to give back to community. And he's the one who offered it. I didn't even ask. And that's when I knew this client is very responsible and does care and wants to contribute also to the community. This is what I like to say for my client on behalf of Vladimir Bear. And I'd like to thank the staff and the Glendale for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks. Does Mr. Verdani want to speak? Do you want to speak?
He says whatever I like.
You need to come up to the mic and then submit a speaker card.
Hi, my name is Vladimir Vardayan, owner of the 91 North Glendale properties, existing gas station. Like I said, whatever I can say, that was my meaning to say. I'm offering the best I can for the community. Be honest to you, but compared to my competition, about 30 cents below my gas price. So each customer benefiting about $300 to $600 a year by buying gas from my station, and I have a highest volume. But the problem is, like he said, I need alternative profit center to keep prices low. So on these days, when the fuel goes up, it affects to everybody. Each single family member affects on the gas price. So this will be benefit of me. So it's not that much of the beer sales. It's going to be effect on my sales of snack. So can keep me going. This property I purchased 2 years ago. Be honest to you, we're forced to buy it because the owner died and the family decided to sell it. So my rent was $3,000. Now I'm paying $10,000 payment. So it's good to have a land property, but it's financially affects on me. It's long term I'm winner, short term I'm loser. Like I say, I remodeled the store last year. I spent $365,000, and then everybody commenting on the station, best looking station. All windows open, visible. It's pretty nice station come up. I done before, but it's came out the best. I live from my station half a mile away on College Hills. I'm in community. So all I'm asking, if you granted me license, it'd be a very big help for me to continue the business in the community and serve the public as much as getting high quality I can.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I've got a couple questions.
Sure.
Do you? I'll just ask them, and then
Yeah, sure.
you or your representative can come up and just clarify. You're only proposing still beer and wine.
Yes.
Nothing. No hard liquor.
No.
Okay. What in the floor plan? Actually, that's not posted. The floor plan of the market shows, I think, 3 coolers where you're proposing to sell the beer and wine?
Yeah, I have a walk-in cooler with the 9 door.
Right.
And when I build it, I put the lock on it in case I sell the beer. I can lock the doors after hours. So from 9 doors, probably 2 or 3 doors I will provide for the serving the beer.
Okay, it looked like 3 doors, and you
Yeah,
said
3
you had
doors.
9.
I have a 9 total for the all non-alcoholic beverages, the soda
Is
and water.
that is that the what else do you sell in the cooler area? Just
Cooler area,
non-alcoholic?
just soft drinks, juices, water, and that's it right now.
Okay.
So if you got the beer license, so I can add the 2 or 3 door. Depends on the sales. If I have a sales higher, so I can provide 3 door. If his sales are low, I can reduce it to 1 or 2.
Okay.
Depends on the
But
size.
the other refrigerated stuff just sells juice and soft
Yeah,
drinks?
like from the 9 doors, like
Okay.
juices and sodas.
What are your hours of operation?
I'm 24 hours.
You're open 24 hours. Okay.
I used to be closed before remodeling, after remodeling. If the community asking for be 24 hours, I make it to 24 hours.
Okay.
It's safer.
Okay. And so, if there aren't any restrictions on the hours imposed for alcohol sales, you'd sell what ABC allows, which is, I think,
Busy after 2, I think the 2 o'clock is a deadline.
yeah,
Yeah, but
between
usually-
2 a.m. and 6 a.m. you can't
But
sell.
usually we do before 2, so we not get that part. So,
I'm sorry, you
2
close-
o'clock is a deadline, but
Right.
we close like 10 minutes before 2.
Oh,
That's why
okay, I
we
see
do
what you're
the
saying.
most of them. Yes.
Okay, okay. You sell beer and wine, will you sell beer and wine in other areas of the store, non-cooler areas like the shelves?
Be honest with you, I never sold. So if a customer demand on the having the hot beer case, but I don't think the people will like to drink the hot beer. So, but in case they want to carry with them, probably I will provide them. But right now, I know I don't have any experience of it. So
Okay.
Depends on the demand.
And going back to a previous question, where on the plans it showed 3 coolers designated for beer and wine, would you have problems if we impose limitations in terms of having only a maximum of those 3 cases for beer and wine, so that all of a sudden, if I was to go in the store, all of the coolers were for beer and wine? Would you have a problem with limiting
All the
the
I mean,
number of coolers?
9 door is beer. You mean the all 9
Right.
door? No. The beer sales is gonna be 10 to 20%. 80% is a soft drink, so I have to
Okay.
reduce that. No.
Okay, so you wouldn't have a
The
problem
3
with...
door is gonna be plenty for me.
Okay.
Yes.
So you wouldn't have any problems with
No.
us limiting that?
No.
Okay. And then, I guess the final question, did you have a chance to look at the potential conditions in the staff report? And then did you have any questions or concerns regarding those potential conditions?
Be honest with you, I didn't say it yet.
Okay.
But if you tell me what is it, maybe I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Did Mr. You need to come up. Did you look at the conditions, Mr. Kane?
Yes, and he did get the email for it, and it was an attachment. So maybe he mistake the email. Now, having said that, I spoke to him about that condition, though, about the conditions you guys would give, and he basically said, "I will accept any conditions that the police department or the city planning or commissioner recommends." So
Okay,
he
so
did- he
you've
did
read
state
the
that.
conditions and you
Correct.
don't have a problem with any
No,
of the...
from what I've heard from
Awesome.
him, I think it's fine. And some of the concerns you have, let me address some of those too. The 3 is typically what we designed for an area for a cooler, and what's on the drawing is where he is going to sell only. So what you have seen on the floor plan is what he agreed to.
Right.
Second, the beer and alcohol area, the coolers will be locked during non-selling hours. Also.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're going to put locks on them. So yeah, it's already there. So we're going to lock them during that time, so it makes it more secure for concerns. And second, we would take the conditions, and he said he would agree to what the commission or the planning or the police department recommends for the times of hours for sales also. He would accept any conditions you guys gave. I thought that was very fair enough also. And second, so the alcohol selling locations will be only the 3, locked during non-hours, and I believe that, which I didn't address prior, but relating to this, it's a safer environment because if you look at the pictures or have been there, our site is very lighted with a lot of security cameras, which is a deterrent for criminals who wants to go there. So we're trying to keep those out. And this I've heard many times from other, when I met with police officers, captains and chiefs that actually told me that information. They said the more lighting you put, the more security you put, it would deter criminals because everywhere they turn, their faces on camera with lighting, which is common sense, makes sense. So what we want is to deter the criminal elements and also make a safer environment for the community people who goes there. So, and that environment is already there, so I thought that was very good because if we're going to sell it, we want it in a responsible owner and a very secured place that people, what we call the good citizens that will benefit from this, convenience from this, will feel a lot safer going to that area also. So basically he improved the looks of it and he improved the security of that area also. Okay, sir?
A follow-up question to make sure I'm clear. You also wouldn't be opposed if we limited the hours of alcohol sales?
No.
So, I mean, ABC allows alcohol sales aside from between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. If we, cut it off at midnight or something like that.
Midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah, you need to come up to the mic so we can hear you.
Be honest, by summertime, if we go to out, I mean, if you can, then
What he was
you would prefer
if we get
just keep
1 a.m.
Okay.
Which is still lower than the ABC.
That would be your preference.
Yeah, after 1 o'clock, I don't want to gonna be drunk people.
Okay.
But he did say that to be granted, he would accept the conditions you guys do give, like I said prior.
All right. Very good. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
If you don't have anything to add, do you have anything else to say?
Staff
Mr.
has no further comments.
All right. Thanks. The hearing is now officially closed. Thanks for coming. It's 10 o'clock. That's the only item on the agenda, and we will see you next time. Thanks.